Acheron, Star Rail's rendition of Raiden. With her badass design, she clearly is a fan favorite, and I'm sure a lot of people will pull for her. That includes me, so let's talk about how to build her regarding her best Lightcones, Relics, Teamcomps, and Eidolons. Starting with her Lightcones, her signature is her best in slot, you probably already know that, so her general second best option will be Good Night Sleep Well at S5, and I know that Silverwolf's Lightcone is really good on her, so use it if you have it, but most people didn't pull for this weapon. So use Good Night Sleep Well, it's really her only free-to-play option. Moving on to her Relic Sets, Acheron's best in slot will be the Pioneer set, it's perfect for her kit. You can also use Band of Sizzling Thunder as a placeholder if you have not farmed this set yet, or a two-piece combination of both. Then her Planar Ornaments, so Acheron's best in slot will be the new Izumo set coming in 2.1, but her other options perform about the same, and since you can't pre-farm for this set, then you can use Inert Salsado, Space Healing Station, or Glamoth at 135 speed. As for the main stats for these relics, she wants crit on the body, speed on the boots, lightning damage or attack percent on the orb, they perform about the same, just use whatever has better substats, then attack percent on the rope. The substats to aim for in order of importance is speed until the desired threshold that you want, then crit as much as possible while picking up some attack rolls. Now for Acheron's team comps. So since she has a ton of self-buffing mechanics, she gets the most value out of debuffers. She's actually a character that prefers a double debuffer team comp because of her trace. Her best being Silverwolf and Pela. If you don't have Silverwolf, then it's fine to use a Harmony character, Ruanmei being the best, and Bronya and Sparkle being very strong. Just know that Acheron's personal damage will fall off a good amount. However, let's talk about her sustain options because they're a little interesting. So the reason I didn't include Welt as a debuffer option is because he can actually be the sustain for her team comps. Now let me just say that this really only works if you're just a tryhard who will pay attention to enemy actions and ult accordingly. So most people won't run this comp. Just know that it's her highest damage ceiling for E0 as you can run a Harmony and 2 debuffers in this comp. But besides that, some comfortable options for her sustain will be Fushuan, Gallagher, who's coming next patch, and Adventurin, who's also coming next patch. Finally, her Eidolons, they're really broken. So E1 is pretty straightforward. She gains 18% crit rate. This is because the enemies will always be debuffed, so you should have 100% uptime on this Eidolon. Then E2. This Eidolon completely changes her. So it reduces the requirement for her trace from 2 Nihility teammates to 1, meaning you can run a Harmony with no downside, or even 2 Harmonies with Welt sustain. It's a massive damage increase and definitely worth getting if you can save the pulls. E4, she makes enemies take 8% more damage from her ult. And finally E6, increases resistance penetration by 20% for her ults. But her basic and skill will be considered ult damage as well, and can also reduce the enemy toughness bar regardless of element. Pretty insane. How can Hoyoverse consistently make every Raiden the best character in the game? I don't get it. It's crazy.